Jim.
Yes. Let's bring in our guy, Kirk Morrison, right now. This guy should be on in living color. Kirk, you're on with Drapes and Jay. And I say that because I'm looking at your bio here on Twitter, man, and you got about 20 jobs here. You know, you're an NFL vet. Obviously, we know that. But you're on ESPN College Football, Rams NFL pre- and post-game show, host of LA Gridiron Weekly, ESPN Los Angeles, Sirius XM. Appreciate you jumping on with us, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, fellas. Glad to be with you, fella. How we doing?
Good, man. Good. I'm looking at this NFC West, and to me, it's San Francisco's to lose. If you're a Niners fan, what's the one area of concern do you have right now?
Why would you say San Francisco's to lose, though?
Come on now. Come on, Kirk. Let's keep it real, baby. Keep it real.
You just put that out there like that's a fact or something.
Hey,
hold on.
If they don't win the division, Kirk, if they don't win the division, something went terribly wrong.
I'm just saying, you lost the offensive mind in Billy Slovic. You lost your defensive coordinator in D'Amico Ryans. The defensive player of the year right now is holding out. I don't know what you want to call what's going on with Nick Bosa. I mean, is Brock Purdy was what we saw in 5 games in the regular season, a couple of games in the postseason. Is he really the real guy? Can he show me he can do that again for a second season, or will he have the sophomore slump? There's a lot of things that go into where I feel like we just know the National Football League. It's not going to be that easy. Is it their conference to lose? No. I mean, their division to lose? I don't know. Is Seattle going to be that much better? I think the Rams are going to be much better. What happens if the 49ers lose to the Rams in week 2? Are we going to say, it's whose fault are we going to blame? Or we're not going to look at the entire complexity of the NFC and say the NFC is better. The 49ers, are they better, or are they still kind of where they were a year ago? If you look at the roster of the 49ers today, right now, are they better than they were a year ago? All they have is just the addition of Javon Hargrave, and they've got a quarterback that we still keeps telling people I'm not 100% yet, but I'm getting there. So you tell me, how are they the team to lose right now?
You see, that's that Raider in him right there. Drapes, he kicking my 49ers down already, man. Dang, Kirk, you can't let my boys live through the preseason.
Hey, man, I'm just teasing. I'm going to see them on Sunday, so we're going to get a chance to see. They're going against the Raiders. I'll be in the building over there at Allegiant Stadium. But, I honestly, when I look at the 49ers, there's a lot that I just want to see again. This is a football team that, last year really caught a nice little stride when they, picked up in a trade Christian McCaffrey. And they did get good quarterback play. Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think, gets enough credit for what his team was able to overcome last season.
Did you just say Jimmy
That's
G?
what I'm talking about.
Kirk,
I appreciate that, Kirk. Yep.
I'm just saying he kept the boat afloat, and then obviously Brock Purdy took it on. But it was a situation last year where this football team found its way. And now if we're really going to hand it off to Brock Purdy, I mean, Brock Purdy's the guy. So I'm always I want to see, one of my buddies is Gary Payton, man, the former Supersonic. And I used to always just kid with him, mess with him about NBA players and this and that. And he would always tell me, I need to see more of it. I need to see it. So when you can consistently do it 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a row, then I can really believe it. But right now it's really up in the air when it comes to Brock Purdy. And that's my big question mark, is have NFL teams looked at Brock Purdy for, the 5-7 games. He hasn't completed 16 games in the National Football League. So he's actually going into this season, as hate to say, as a rookie in terms of games played. He hasn't played 17 games. So he's still going to be a rookie. I just want to see what he does now when teams, or he is going to be asked, can you win us a football game, and not rely on his defense?
Rocking with my boy Kirk Morrison, do it all, man. Former NFL linebacker, Captain Kirk, of course, of the Oakland Raiders at the time. Man, talk about your guys down there. When I say down there, I mean SoCal, of course, one of the teams you cover, the LA Rams. A lot of people, I don't think, high expectations this year, as Drapes was just kind of talking about. It's really like the 49ers and the Seahawks. Do the Rams play a part in this at all, Kirk, this year?
I think it'd be interesting. I don't know if they play a major part. I can say that, but then I got, woken up last year and believing a lot of the hype of what the Seattle Seahawks were a year ago. a team that was going to be in line to be tanking and be in this conversation for Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, and yet all the Seahawks did was go out and play some outstanding football and actually went to the playoffs and did it with a really, really young roster. That's where the Rams are at. But I would say this: the Rams, with their young roster, have better pillars, as the Rams call them. They have better foundational pieces. I feel like when you tell me a coach that says, "Hey, you're going to go into a season with Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald, and we're going to have a bunch of really young, good football players around you," you just hope that your outstanding players stay healthy and can bring along the young guys. If that works out, they'll be in contention for a playoff spot. Seeing them win a division, I will be shocked. But I know that they can be a team that is going to give the 49ers, the Seahawks, problems for sure.
Kirk, I want to go up to Seattle. Was what we saw from Geno Smith last year, was that a flash in the pan, or is he the guy? Has his development and maturity and that experience, is this who he is now? Can we expect a similar season from Geno?
Yeah, I think you can. And I think that they even gave him more weapons, too. Let's be honest. That he's the guy. They rewarded him with a contract to say he's our guy at least for the next season or two. But more importantly, they added to an offense that is going to have a bunch of running backs. We're talking about a running back market where all these running backs are trying to get paid. Well, they've got a bunch of young, good running backs that are still on rookie contract, trying to at least get into that conversation of being paid at some point in their careers. So that's a hungry group you got right there. Remember, they got Noah Fant in that trade with the Denver Broncos. I like their tight end. And then receivers, come on, man. That is going to be fun to watch. Knowing that you already got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and, oh, by the way, you get in the draft and you get Smith and Jigba. I mean, this right now, just their offense. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, they did get 2 bookend tackles last year in the draft as rookies who are starting. This is a football team that's just kind of quietly hanging in the weeds. And to me, it's, I don't want to say it out loud, but I feel like I'm not shocked that the Seattle Seahawks win this division. I'm just not, because their young players got a lot of play last year. We know about the young Tariq Woolen, who should have been Defensive Player of the Year, but Sauce Gardner got all the hype, and understandably so. But this is a defense that's going to be better, an offense that's going to be better. And to your point, Geno is the guy, and he's got more ingredients now. He's got more groceries now to prepare the meal.
Yeah. Kirk, man, I have like 3 or 4 questions that I definitely want to make sure I get in before we let you go. So I'm going to shoot a couple at you, man.
Yeah,
being from Oakland, being from the town through and through, I'm a huge Oakland A's fan, as I know, you rock with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
What to see the Raiders, and of course you played for Oakland. You played for the Raiders when they were in Oakland.
Right.
And of course, I know you still have ties to the Raiders, man, as we all call you Captain Kirk, and everybody you're beloved in the black and silver. What would it mean to see the A's leave Oakland for you, man?
I mean, it would kind of be, I guess, like the ending of professional sports in Oakland, California. That's what it would mean. It was like, I grew up knowing the NBA. I grew up watching the NFL, grew up watching baseball, and you had all of those. And the one thing I've always looked at around, especially now in my career after playing in professional sports, that your identity of your city is by sports teams. I mean, no matter where you go. I mean, I put it like this. You guys, we talk a lot of 49ers, right? But if you go anywhere in the country and someone says, oh, well, where are you from? I say, I'm from San Francisco. They're not going to say, oh, you must be a Giants fan. No, they're going to say, oh, are you guys Niner fans? Right? They always, your sports team is kind of what your identity of the city is. If I walk around and I meet a dude from Pittsburgh, like, hey, you a Steeler fan? That's just how it is. Now, that identity of a city is kind of gone when you take away all the professional sports teams around it. I would hope that it doesn't happen, but obviously it's not looking good. And just to think, that's what really hits me the most, is that people say, where are you from? I'm from Oakland. And in about 20 years from now, it's not going to say, oh, that's where the Raiders used to be, or that's where the A's used to play, or that's where the Warriors used to play. It's that next generation is that the city won't have that identity except for the people who remember that time. And so that's kind of what's been sticking with me most so far.
Man, on with Kirk Morrison. You can follow him on Twitter at Kirk Morrison. Kirk, before I let you get out of here, we're going to keep it going. What do you make of college football realignment? I know you're San Diego State Aztecs. They just chilling, watching everything. What do you think happens with San Diego State, Cal, Stanford, the rest of the Pac-4 that's left?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. I mean, it just shows you where college football is at. I mean, it really started a while back. I think just watching the Johnny Manziel Untold documentary on Netflix, it really put in perspective how this really got kick-started about 10, 12 years ago when Texas A&M left the Big 12 to go join the SEC. And Texas A&M was like a middle of the pack Big 12 team. It wasn't like they were just lighting the Big 12 on fire, but they left to the SEC, and then they went for greener pastures, and they definitely got a lot more coming in terms of investments and donors and all of that good stuff. And that, so obviously Texas, Oklahoma leaves. It is just the ongoing cycle that we could talk about athletes and the student athletes. Well, let's be honest. This is all about the dollar. It's all about the television contracts. It's all about budgets. I get both sides of it. I have friends who are in administration. I have friends who are head coaches, and also have, young players, family members who are in college game. It's tough on many sides of it, but at the end of the day, the almighty dollar wins, and that's all you got to do is follow the money. I feel bad for Cal, Stanford, but there's also an aspect of me that's like, okay, the Pac-12 always thought that they were better than everybody, and now look at you now. You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of have that. Cal didn't recruit me. Stanford, Tyrone Willingham told me I hadn't had a grade to go there. All right, so to me, I look at them and just say, I ain't got no conference. So
Ouch.
Hey, it ain't my problem. Mountain West, hey, San Diego State, we're good. And it'll be interesting to see how those last couple teams or last couple universities and their programs, how they're set up. Again, I go back to what I always say. In college, the identity of a school is its best sports program. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's just what it is. So right now, when I think of Cal and Stanford, everybody looking at them like, man, what? Okay, yeah, what y'all gonna do? Because everybody else is realizing, hey, our football program is what leads this charge, and right now, Cal and Stanford don't have nowhere near that.
Final question, Kirk, before we let you go, man. This is something that I've and we're rocking with Kirk Morrison, former NFL linebacker, of course, do it all analyst. At this point, I'm not even gonna name all the accolades and checks you collect, and just let me get 10 when you can. But something I want to ask you, and I haven't been able to ask you this for a while, is Deion Sanders, man. Because one of the things that I've always appreciated about you is, and it's part of kind of your identity, is I can put, I always say you can put me anywhere and I can do anything. And I truly believe that with you. Being what you've done, seeing what you've playing, all those type of things, being an analyst, to see Deion be a coach and do what he's done, from your standpoint, what's your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, Deion has always been a master motivator. I mean, I've played with Hall of Famers in my career in the National Football League.
How should we handle
that's going to be something that's like, Deion handles it, man. Deion is that dude. Deion is that guy. And I've always said, when you have guys who wear that gold jacket that are Hall of Famers, they've done things at a level that not many people have done. So people follow him. People listen to him. Deion is one of the best to ever do it. And he's showing you a different way of coaching that a lot of our young men who play in college sports grew up playing, the style and the approach that Deion takes.
Kirk, before I let you go too, man, I hear you say that. And, I look at the backlash and listen to some of the backlash Deion's already getting, at Colorado. I'm going to go there, man. Where is that coming from? Like, to me, if I'm a Colorado alum, if I'm part of that athletic department, I'm looking at everything that's happened so far, and I'm thanking Coach Prime.
Straight up.
Like, he's already made them millions on top of millions. Without him, they don't move.
Man, it's 100%. And this is the reason why they brought in Coach Prime. Coach Prime, Deion does numbers. He's captivating. He does everything the right way. He has a great social media team. He's taking you inside of his program. And to be honest, you almost feel like you're a part of it. That's what makes Deion so special. He makes you feel a part of it. He made us look at Jackson State differently. He took us along that ride. He's doing the same thing with Colorado. And I think secretly, a lot of people are hating inside because they want that for their program, and yet they don't have it.
Yeah, straight up, man. Definitely.
Appreciate
Kirk, man,
you.
always appreciate you big time. You know, I know you got 36 jobs, man. So it's
man.
tough to get you on, bro.
Sorry to break the clock, man. I'll talk to y'all later.
No, it's all good. Kirk Morrison, former NFL linebacker. You can find him on Twitter at Kirk Morrison, dropping that knowledge. And I love the fact right from the jump, he said, nah, this division, the 49ers, it's not their division to lose, right?
Music to your ears.
I was
know,
like,
man.
my man, we got to get him on more. All right, we got much more here.